And we are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this client interview / celebration with the beautiful
Dinora.
Nora, and she's calling in from
Florida,
Florida.
US.
Florida, US. All right, so we're just gonna celebrate her because she literally went from selling $1,000 website kind of stuff going on to people that actually really struggle to pay her the $1,000, which is going to be a pain in the butt, to her first 7-figure clients in literally 7 days. Yes, I know it's possible. And 18K sale 6 months. So that's what we're gonna celebrate today. We're actually going to go through her exact genius. So you guys that's actually here, you can see if you have the same genius, and I will explain to you why this works, why this doesn't work, why it only works on certain geniuses and not on other geniuses. Then we're going to, of course, talk to Dinora and ask her what the changes was and what happened, because she's tried a lot of different things. So it's going to be a really juicy conversation. And this is going to be for anyone that don't think they can have 7-figure clients, boom, in a week, and have big leaps, like literally jump from 1K fees to 18K 6-month fees. This live stream is going to be for you. Also, a lot about what geniuses are. Okay, does that sound good to you, Dinora?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Okay, and to everybody else, I'm just going to check if we're live first. I think we are, but I always like to just double check it. That we are. Okay, that is beautiful. We are live. And I think I'm just going to have this here because if we have comments, I don't know if I want to see it. All right. Okay. Can you mute the sound or something? Not on you, but I think I can hear myself did you hear it?
I'm okay here.
Okay, it's all good. Okay, Dinora, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you were doing before you entered my bootcamp?
Sure. Okay, here it is.
Brace yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's not that long. I haven't been in as entrepreneur. It has been maybe 2 years. 1 year fully into the services. I bring a lot of years in marketing, so I decided to give it a try to do a service provider. But when I entered, what I heard, to be honest, I was more into corporate side. So getting into entrepreneurship and getting along with small businesses, then I said, okay, I have to niche down. Okay, I have to niche down. So when I went, I tried the social media, I tried websites, I tried different things. So I did a lot of things as usual. But the thing is that the small business side was very harsh for me to get in. People weren't usually into paying, and if they're paying, they want maybe a social media manager for $200 a month, and it was like I have to live too, right? So I began with referrals and good people that wanted to give me a try, and they were having some results. So I decided, okay, let's do something more. But you know, crickets there because there wasn't any kind of inbound coming in. So I didn't have much of clients. So then I decided to, okay, I'm doing the same thing. And for me, it was very uncomfortable from marketing to having this issue, from marketing to having to having my clients to have their clients, and I could not get mine. So I decided to go to a different side and look for a coach. So I decided to went to a coach. She was giving me a lot of information and she gave me a lot of strategies, but the strategy gave me a lot of I have to invest a lot in the strategy in terms of advertising and timing because I was launching a lot. So even though I got myself out there, I got myself followers and all that stuff, but getting people into the service was very harsh. Like 3-hour calls in order to get somebody to think about a website for $1,000 And my websites are not just one website. It is, I give you a teaching how to do this and how to do that, so you can actually manage it after. So it was a lot more than the market was offering. And even though it was very, very difficult. So yes, I went from different sides, from different coaches that told me a lot of strategies. They were good. I'm not saying they weren't. I wasn't just getting what I needed. That is the the amount of leads and good leads for me to sell. So tell me about it. I told you it's long. It's long.
Well, I was going to say you might not say that they're good, but the fact is they did not deliver results. If there's anybody that's been going more than a fucking month before getting the results you want, I always say like somebody is not delivering to you what you should. Going on, because here's the thing, and all of you guys as listening right now, you should know something about Denora's genius, because you might have a similar genius. Because Denora is a very intellectual, obviously gorgeous person as well. She comes from corporate, which usually is a very intellectual environment. You know, it's not like the artistic, world where you're up and making theater or something. I don't know. Maybe
I
you're doing
did too, even though I did too.
yeah, you did too. Where there's numbers and analytics and all that kind of things, and it's very, very natural for a person like this to have a genius in direction of business, which means that she's even either able to see different kinds of business strategies. She's able to see different details in a strategy and play around with them and see what happens. She can see details versus other people that might be more like people, as in emotional. They love storytelling, they love engaging with other people, they're not as intellectual, and very typical for people with a genius like Denora is they start either out as VAs or they run someone else's business with ads, or or they just love the results in general. They just want client results, they want money results, or all kinds of results, which is amazing, by the way. But when Denora was investing with all these kinds of other people, they were generally telling her, yes, website is your thing. You should be doing websites, and you should keep focusing on doing websites. And what did you think about that in general, Denora, when people were telling you that?
Well, to be honest, they told me, which of your services are you going to focus on? And I said, well, website is something that I can sell, and I can oversell other stuff later. And the second thing is that it's a high ticket in terms of what I offered. It was the highest ticket, so I prefer to do that. So nobody had the time, or maybe they weren't focused on that, on identifying which was the best thing to actually, for me to actually be selling. And that made a huge difference if in terms of what I got from you and what I got from those other coaches.
Yeah, because here's the thing, other people are actually not focusing on people's geniuses, and that is the big, massive issue. Because the first thing we did for Denora here, and the first thing I do for absolutely everybody, is to figure out what the hell is your genius. And your genius is not just what you're good at, because most people, like for instance with myself, when I started out, I was told that I couldn't be spiritual and make a lot of money and that kind of thing going on, and I wanted to do. But I'm a professional trained singer, so I was started out as a vocal coach because that's what I could do, And a lot of people end up doing what they think they can do, like either a system they have learned, or like me, vocal coaching, or something. But for instance, with the Nora's Genius, anybody with a very intellectual mind are going to be able to see details and big project and actually be playing around with strategies and not just like one system. She's able to create system for each of her clients, so each of her clients can actually create different results. She can look at that, like she will look at your whole strategy and your whole system and look at, that's working, that's not working, this is working, this is what we need to tweak, in a whole big picture, so that she can actually start to work with 7-figure entrepreneurs. Even right now, she's literally at 18K so far for 2021, and this is very, very typical for anybody that loves business and you love client results. You're going to have some of these abilities that you just see what people are meant to do, or you just see where people are meant to go. Maybe you can play with details, maybe you're better with people, but that is like the essence of the genius. And when that is the essence of the genius, then we can't just focus on selling someone else's system or just one website or here's how to write a post kind of thing, because that's where we end up as business people. We end up either selling someone else's shit, or not shit, but stuff. And then we are not going to be able to take on bigger clients and bigger projects and actually deliver something unique to people. Because that is essentially what happened with the Nora when we changed this for her. So can you tell everybody, by the way, how was this changed for you? You sold website, and then we went into your Genius, and you were like, oh shit, I'm good at that. I can get a 7-figure client. Like, what
Nope.
happened? No, no,
Nope, nothing like that.
no,
It
no.
was funny. It was
Yeah.
funny because it took maybe half an hour from Charlotte to identify my genius. I think that deep inside, I knew, but in over the years, you have people or bosses or coworkers or family that tells you, oh, you're just good in this, or oh no, you're just good in that. So I had that in the top of my mind in here, but the other stuff was over here, very, very deep inside. So when you taught me strategies, I said, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. And I remember I keep doing the exercises that she usually puts in the boot camp and all that stuff. And I said, I'm still. But then suddenly I begin to remember some stuff that I was a kid,
Yeah.
that my brother said when I was a kid, with that my mom said when I was a kid, and everything begins to like actually drip down to for me to understand. Yes, it is true. I just been hearing the incorrect voice that it was I was good in this and I was good in that, and not seeing the whole picture as you were seeing it. And sometimes we just need this third person that maybe doesn't know you at all to get exactly at that point. So, what was the difference? Right now, I feel so much comfortable when I'm talking with a prospect or even talking with anybody else about my business, because I know for sure I don't feel like this imposter syndrome that I felt before,
Yep.
because I didn't felt expert in any of the sites that I was good at, and I'm not saying that I'm not good at, but it wasn't that makes me special, that made me uh, who I am as a person, or who I am as a business person or consultant. So it actually came alive. This other stuff and some securities that I that I didn't have at the moment. So it made a whole different about how I talk about my business and about my services.
Okay, so I want you to tell everybody this, because when we started the boot camp, and we did this as the first step, right?
Yes.
And then like 7-figure entrepreneurs that just fly in your, the door after that, right? For anybody. But it's so normal to think that what you have in front of you is what you have in front of you. Because Denora was literally having people that was struggling to pay her $1,000, for her services. Maybe you have people struggling to pay you 10K or 5K, but like this is what you see in front of you, and you generally start to believe there's only crappy people out there, or not crappy, like there's only like people can't pay, people are broke, people don't value my service. Then we like feel that we can charge more because like everything is around us. It's like this little box. And on top of that, she also had worked with other mentors and coaches that were like, hey, keep doing a launch, keep showing up online, here's how you do the marketing. Like she literally invested a lot in Facebook ads.
Yes, I did.
As well, and she got leads, but there was like these leads all the time. So there's no wonder why we get frustrated when we hear just show up in the DMs, just keep marketing in Facebook group, just keep, and our eyes gets like this. And then it's understandable that we don't believe that you can get a 7-figure clients. So what changed for you? Because it was going from this, we got clear in your Genius, which by the way, it's not sometime you need someone to see it, because it's a special gift some people have. So what changed in your head from I have only $1,000 prospects to 7-figure clients?
Well, the first thing that is that once I understood my genius, I understood that I was looking into the total incorrect person as a lead. Obviously, a person that is beginning their business, it's not looking into strategy. They're looking into let's launch, let's do something. How do I get a a client? So it wasn't the person that I was actually good for as a service. And then I always thought to I always thought that I didn't have leads inside my network.
Mm.
And you told me you have to do a list, and I said, but I don't, it's not like I have 11 people in my network that I can sell to. And I have heard this before, but I was in this type of mindset, so I didn't look. So then I sit down and and look for, and suddenly in this process, at the same time that I was doing the booking, just for you guys to know, I was in a verge to decide to stay in the business or go to work, because I
Yeah.
was that in that verge. I couldn't lose more money. I was up to here, and my family obviously told me, well, you have to decide if you're going to stay with the business or go to work again. So I was updating my resume, and I sent it to this friend that I had for so many years, and she had a business for a long time ago. And I sent her the resume, thinking about for her to give me some feedback on what to do. Obviously, people that recruits in a daily basis have a different view of the resume. So, but I didn't at that moment. I was at the beginning of talking to you, so I wasn't even thinking about selling something to her. So when we got into the conversation, then I already had this breakthrough of my genius, and I began to speak differently with her. So they give me the opportunity to be inside of small RFP that they were doing with other local businesses to get into service with them. So I was like, wow, I didn't thought that this could be done. Not even thinking about a friend that can do that for me. Be part of the business. And the second thing, to be part of competing with big firms locally. So that for me was like, wow.
Exactly. So what has happened, you guys, is that when she see her genius and she completely understand what she can do, how she can do it, that nobody else can do out there, and this is key because she, how do we say this in English? You competed against like five big competitors, quote unquote, in the local area, and she beat both and she crushed, I guess, she crushed every single one of them, because the way she described her genius and what her genius could do, these other people are not aware of their genius. Being aware of your genius is not normal. So on that sales call, or it wasn't even a sales call, it was like a friend's chat that we turned into a sales call, because that's what geniuses do, because you can see that you can help them and how you can help them uniquely. And then the person was like, oh my God, let's talk about this. Yes, I want to hear more. And Denora is obviously not at the seven figures herself, even though she closed the seven figures, because her genius is natural strategizing systems. And you don't have to sell a system which is the money you have made. Typically, you can see how they can make more, because that is what her brain naturally does. Not website, not anything else. Okay, website can be a part of it, but not really. And these other people, they don't know how to position themselves, they don't know how to talk about your genius, like you did. And then she literally, what made you so confident that you can charge $18,000 for 6 months? It's a ginormous gap from selling thousands of
Whew.
websites.
Yes, definitely. I think that I understood the value that I was selling. I've
That is key, because you're selling your mind.
Yes,
you guys. She's not selling a system that someone else taught her. This is not my system. What we taught her. She's literally selling how she minds things and how that mind can play with different elements in business and create something unique for someone else. That is key. That is not the same as just selling what everybody else is selling or selling what I taught her, because that's not what I taught her. I just showed her this is what you're good at. So that is key. Very, very important.
Definitely, for me, this quote was like humongous to
Yeah.
think about, because I needed to think about all the strategies. And one thing that I identify in the process is that I was good at hearing their needs. So after that, I made this quote as rounded as it can be, as part of my genius. And 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 since it makes totally sense, since as you told, it's the way that I think. So I wasn't like, it wasn't harsh, the conversation. And the, it was difficult for me to actually put my mind into the quote, because every single quote from my side, it's different, because it's
Yeah.
depending on the strategies that each of the company needs. But the conversation, it was much more comfortable. I wasn't, for me, I wasn't selling. I was explaining, why do you need this? Because for me, it was obvious that they're needing A, B, C, D, even G, and if they don't have G, the A will work, and
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. So it was a lot easier. I wasn't into the pitch. I was exactly explaining myself. That's it.
Exactly. She didn't have to ask for the sale. I want everybody to write it down on a piece of paper. She
Mhm.
didn't have to ask for the sale. She got asked for the sale, because when you explain your genius in the way that only you can, people will ask you for the sale, because you're not sitting there and like, well, what is your problem? This is how I can help you. And you sound like absolutely everybody else with the same script. People get intrigued. People want to know because it's so unique, because her mind is unique. Like that's why everyone wants everyone to take away from this. And also for anybody else that's watching, the number one thing why you're not close to seven figure entrepreneurs is the lack of that awareness, and then the acceptance of that, and then explaining that to the people so they actually ask you for the sale, because that's literally what she did. This is like pure authority, as we like to call it, and authority doesn't come from, as I said before, your branding. We haven't branded her anything, okay?
Mhm.
We haven't had a lead strategy where she's getting like consistent, because she tried that before. It didn't work the way she wanted to. We literally did no fucking marketing for her. At all. No Facebook group, no freebies, no list building, none of that. So all the moms out there that don't have time, amen to that. Or dog owners, that is also very, very important. It's just her genius, and that is enough. And since it's her genius, it's also easy for you, right? It wasn't like it was harder to sit and try to close a $1,000 sale than $18,000, right?
It was, definitely was. Even I was expecting, well, I know that they're friends of mine, but I was expecting in the sales call to have these harsh objections. and
Yes.
and there wasn't any harsh objections. They were some, but I was expecting something like hard, because of the way that I have behaved with the other, well, not me, but my
Yeah.
other leads. Um a- and and I was like surprised. I said, well, I don't know if this is good or bad, because I didn't have objections, or big objections. But even in there, something that for me was a whole leap. And I said, to my husband, that even though if I didn't get the sale for this contract, I said, I have at such a leap of learning through this process. Because at the end, they asked me, as a lot of other persons asked me, this is the budget that we have, is there any way that we can get into this budget instead of what you're quoting? And if you asked me before, I would say yes, without asking, yes, because the issue is, I need to close the sale. And this time I said, no, I can get up to here, but I cannot go lower. and it's because of you. I don't want you to suffer. And I was so amazed that I could have that type of conversations that I didn't have before, and I had the confidence that I said, it doesn't matter if the sale is done or not. I cannot go there. That's it. So even this process, even in my limits of what to offer and what not, had changed, and it's something that triggered the confidence in me.
It's phenomenal, obviously. And right now, what do you want to say to the people out there that's like, you sometimes say, I know my genius, but I just have a lead issue, or I just have a marketing issue, or I just have objection issue. What do you want to say to those people?
I think that I thought, just to be honest, I thought first, and it's something that for me is very funny because I have said so many times as a marketer, you have to understand who you are as a business, because who you are with your values, with yourself, it's going to make a huge difference on how you talk about yourself. And every time I have a client that knows exactly what they sell and how they sell it, it's so easy to get the leads. But for myself, I didn't have that. I didn't understood what my special thing was. And and even though I had all the knowledge on how to do ads, how to do lead magnets, how to do all of other stuff, I wasn't getting the difference because I didn't have it. It's like amplifying something that I don't have. Now now that I have it, it's something so much different. And not only the experience of the process, because the process before was a little bit awkward for me inside, like awky in some way. And the open mind that you can have once you understand exactly who you are, and then who your audience should be,
Exactly. Should be very important.
then it's easier. After, just as an example, after I understood this and I had this quote, I didn't know if I had the sale or not, but that confidence and a simple strategy that Charlotte teaches about DMs, I got in just one DM. Obviously, I needed to study the person and the business, but just with one DM, I had a sales call. And it's now it is much easier to find those leads and not be struggling to, how do I put myself out there?
Hmm.
And second thing is, now now I can open my mind. It doesn't have to be this service. Now I know that I can sell this other stuff, and it's
Yeah.
okay to do it. And people are looking for it. It's
Yeah.
like I thought that it wasn't that the people were looking for this or that, or a website or that. No, now it's a whole strategy, and people are actually looking at it like, okay, I thought I only needed a website. Well, this works for me because I can do it all, right? Or but before, I thought that people, I have to push that into their throats. You need to do that. No, right now it's the people that I'm looking for, and the people are receiving the message are okay with it. So it made a lot of difference understanding who I am and what I can offer and who my audience is. So you can go from 1,000 and a lot of that debt to 18,000 in 7 days. It's something that I can be done. I thought it wasn't gonna be me. I always think that everybody else can do that, and I wasn't. It's like getting into a raffle. Usually everybody wins and not me.
Yeah,
But at this time I can say it was me.
it was
And
me.
if you ask me if I did like a huge amount of work and all that stuff, no, it was just a change of mind.
I know. And that is perfect because here's the thing. If people are not like signing on 18K or 10K or whatever, it's like with Denora. People didn't see her as an amazing genius strategist. They saw her as this person that did just one thing. With the awareness of the genius, which starts within you, like in herself first, she sees herself differently. She understands, and only through that is she going to be able to project that and talk about it to other people to literally get asked for sale by seven-figure entrepreneur. Because people tend to think like, oh, I just have to change my copy, or oh, I just need to find a new lead. I can literally send anybody 57-figure entrepreneurs today. It wouldn't close them. And that's the thing. But Denora did because she had changed that on the inside first, and that is what literally nobody's teaching because they're either just sales marketing. You know what you've been taught. Like show up, here's the marketing. Nobody even talks about what the unique thing is other than your beautiful shirt or whatever or your story or something like that. And I can already tell you this, you guys, seven-figure entrepreneurs is not going to buy your story at all. Like they're not gonna, but they need something. They need your genius. Okay, they need something different. Um, what do you want to say to the people that think they can do this by themselves?
Oh my goodness. I always thought that I'm very self-aware of
Yeah,
myself,
yeah,
which are my weaknesses, which are my strengths.
yeah.
But even though I am good at it, or I am good at it as seeing other people, it wasn't true in me. I needed somebody else to actually see that and help me change that mindset of I cannot do it to you can do it. You have so everybody have had so many bad experiences that
Mhm.
changing that set of mind into you can and everybody else can, but you can too. It made obviously a difference. Um, the part of also we've been focusing only in one part, that it's the genius, that it's obviously the key.
Mhm.
But apart from that, there are other stuff in the sales process that have changed too,
Mhm.
because of your coaching.
Sure.
Uh, the way to do the DMs and um, the way to drive some parts of the conversation, to way to see how to close. I'm usually very, very mellow and soft in a lot of ways, even though I might seem like a very nerdy. I am nerdy. But the thing is that those areas you need some help, and sometimes it's just one thing that you just have to switch, but you need that somebody to tell you, here is your bottleneck. Just switch this, and the rest will flow. But if you don't know it, you need somebody else to tell you.
Mhm.
So getting a coach,
Yeah.
getting getting a coach is definitely something that everybody should do in their careers as a business owner.
Yes, and I always say this: if you already knew how to do it, you would have done it by now.
Exactly.
I'm sure that you wouldn't sit there purposefully with $1,000 offers and be super frustrated about it and spending 3 hours in the sales call if you knew how to do it anywhere else, right? So you can always think about frustration equals you don't know something, right? Because why would we sit there and be frustrated? It would just like self torture, you know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's why I left myself 1 year to have just a few things, but it wasn't coaching as much. And I said, okay, I cannot continue doing the same thing because obviously I'm not getting there. So I need help. The thing is, obviously, also understanding which help do you need. It's also a key because I have passed through different coaches. They have taught me a lot of strategies, but not getting to the deep side of what made a trigger inside my business.
Hmm.
And that is also a key thing, right?
And what do you want to say to all the people that wants to join the boot camp, but they're like, or work in general would be, they're like, I'm invested, and invested. Why is this going to be any different?
Well,
It's a valid question, I think.
it's a valid question, and I ask myself that question too,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I identified that I have done a lot of stuff in marketing and nothing had worked. So I said, okay, there is something about my sales things that it's not working. Then I begin to look for sales coaches. It was a new thing for me to look for, and then it appeared Trelad as part of the ads, and I had other coaches that I was looking into it too. But what made a difference is what I saw one of the um, oh my goodness, testimonials from one of the person that have been on the boot camp that said exactly the same thing that I'm saying today.
Yeah.
I feel so more comfortable doing my sales. I can do more sales now than did before. Um, I understanding the genius was a breakthrough, and it's exactly, if you look at it, it's her name. I think it's Anna. I said that's what I wanted, but to at the same time, I was almost at the end of my credit. I didn't have the amount of budget. I actually didn't have it. But when you are in this process and you say to yourself, this is serious, you have to understand or how to go through or just be honest with yourself, leave it there and go to work. So I say it's through these difficult situations that you actually do breakthroughs. So I have to give it a try. So
Yeah.
there I talked to you and I had to do a lot of stuff in order to get to the amount of the boot camp, but it was so worth it. Even though to tell you the complete story, even though I didn't have if I didn't have the sale of the five figures, I would say it still mattered because if it wasn't that sale, it's going to be the next one
Mhm.
because it made a complete different side of me that it will open definitely the sales into my business.
Well, yeah. Obviously, and
Already did, but
joy. Yeah. And I also think that is an important thing. I always tell my clients and you and everybody, either go in, all in, succeed as fuck, or go and get a good job and do well at that. Because anything in between, like struggling, like here and there, is just, or not getting what you want, is just fucking torture. So
Yeah,
I thought that was
frustration all the
actually,
way.
yeah, I think that was awesome because there's so many entrepreneurs out there. Like, even if they make 20K per month, it's kind of like they're not happy. It's struggle. They have to work their ass off. And I'm like, okay, either have fun and succeed as fuck, or literally thrive in something else, because this is going to be really hard. Uh, it's going to be really, really hard. Okay, this was amazing, Denora. Thank you so much for that.
You're
Obviously,
welcome.
you
You're
have.
welcome. Really, really is a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. I think we're just gonna close this beautiful, live stream interview, whatever, and I'll talk to you like right afterwards again.
Sure.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.